This is R2D Tech, and today we're going to be talking about our favourite smartphones of 2019, so stay tuned.
Now, the first phone on our list is the Xiaomi Mi 9T Pro. Now, this is a mid-range phone starting at £399, and you do get some good specs for a mid-range phone. Now, you do get a completely bezel-less screen with a pop-up camera, and for a phone at this price, that's pretty impressive. Obviously, we don't know the longevity of that camera system, but it seems to be pretty good. Of course, it does run the MIUI skin on Android, which might not be to everyone's taste, but I think it's perfectly fine.
In number 2 position, Secondly, we've got the Xiaomi Mi Mix 3, which of course is the slider phone. Now, it's also a fully bezel-less display because of this sliding mechanism where the cameras are hidden. And I think this is actually a really cool implementation. And the actual sliding mechanism is aided by magnets, so it's really springy and really satisfying. Of course, this phone also runs MIUI, which I personally am a bit of a fan of. But of course, many people seem to prefer a more stock Android experience, like on the Pixels. And you can get all of this for a price of £499 on the official website. So in terms of bezel-less phones, it's not too high of a price, and considering that you also get the Snapdragon 845 flagship processor, I'd say it's a pretty sweet deal.
Now, the Pixel 4 was a very controversial phone this year. It underperformed in a lot of areas, including battery life and really just specs in general. However, it provides one of the best Android experience on any phone out there, so it has to go in the list. You get one of the best, if not the best camera on a phone this year, and also a lot of other features such as the motion sense feature, which might not be very advanced yet, but Google promises with updates it will get much better. The Pixel 4 starts at £669, but if you want the XL version, it will be more expensive. And also, I should mention that you do get a much better battery life on the 4XL.
Fourth on our list is, of course, the OnePlus 7T Pro. This phone comes in at around £699, which is on the lower end of prices in terms of flagship phones this year. Of course, OnePlus used to make really premium looking phones at a budget price, but now they're clearly trying to move into the flagship market with this new price point. You get a fully bezel-less phone with a pop-up camera, a very premium feel, very vibrant display, and in fact it's 90 Hz, which is something which you don't see on many smartphones, so you'll get a very fluid experience across the software. And in terms of software on OnePlus devices, many people think it's on the same level as the stock Android on the Pixels now. So definitely you're going to get a very fluid software experience as well. I think it's a great buy. The only thing to consider is that the camera quality is not on the same level as the iPhones or Pixel devices, but it's quite close.
Next on our list is the iPhone 11. Now, this is arguably the best phone that came out this year. It's got one of the best cameras, it's got great battery life, and it's got all the features you want in an iPhone, but at a lower price from the iPhone 11 Pro. There are a few cutbacks, such as the resolution on the screen, and you don't get the OLED panel. But to be honest, we couldn't even tell the difference between the resolutions, so it's perfectly fine. The iPhone 11 starts at £729, so it's cheaper than the Pro models, but it is still an expensive phone, so you might want to take that into account.
Next up is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10, of course. Starting at £869, it is on the high price side, but of course Samsung have always been charging quite a lot for their smartphones, and this is the creme de la creme. The Note series is the powerhouse for power users. You get the S Pen, which I personally have always really liked, and you get the best specs you can possibly get. You know, Snapdragon 855, a ridiculous amount of RAM, up to 12 gigs I believe, and you get the beautiful Samsung OLED displays, which in my opinion are completely unbeatable by any other company right now. Now, of course, the camera on the Note series is also pretty amazing. It might not be on the same level as the Pixel, but it's pretty damn close. And to be honest, for what you're getting in terms of price compared to some other companies like Apple, I would say it's definitely worth the money if you're looking for a very premium flagship device.
Next on our list is the iPhone 11 Pro, and the main differences between the 11 and the 11 Pro are an OLED screen and an extra telephoto camera, as well as the ultra wide and just the wide. If you're looking for a slightly more premium iPhone than the iPhone 11, then this is the phone to get. However, in most cases, the 11 is the phone to get. If you have the £1,049 that the 11 Pro starts at, and you think you'll make use of those extra features, then this is the phone to get.
Next up is the new Motorola Razr foldable phone. Now this phone probably has the best implementation of the folding display. It seems to not have any crease when you fold it, and that's because apparently they constantly keep tension on the display to avoid leaving any crease when you have the phone unfolded. Now it had a different take from the other foldable phones we've seen this year. Instead of being a tablet which folds into the form factor of a normal phone, it has the form factor of a normal phone and folds into a form factor of a much smaller device. Now this is the way I'd like to see foldable phones go. Unfortunately, they included a Snapdragon 710 processor, which is not a flagship processor. Supposedly they did this because it was the best processor to work with the foldable display and avoid overheating and other things like this. In general, it's a revolutionary device and it's going to pave the way for future phones of its kind. And that's all for a price of £1,500, which yes, is steep, but is not as steep as what the Galaxy Fold is charging.
Now, next up we have the Samsung Galaxy Fold. This phone got off to a very rocky start when it was initially released, with lots of problems to do with durability. But when they re-released it, they'd fixed a lot of those problems. And while it's still not completely durable, it is a lot better. And the main reason we have it on our list is because of the technology. The folding display on this phone is still incredibly impressive, and while it does have a crease, it's really not that noticeable when you're using the phone. Now, the price is pretty steep at £1,900, but you are getting flagship specs, and you do also get Galaxy Buds in the box, which is nice to see.
So those were our favourite phones of 2019. If you have any other suggestions, feel free to put those in the comments section and we'll take a look. Other than that, thanks for watching and we'll be back next week with another video. And of course, if you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. And if you really liked it, then consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell for more content like this in the future.